breaking down the political landscape. This is KQ, truth for you. Political honesty rooted in God. This is KQ, truth for you.
Good evening. Welcome to KQ. I'm Ken.
I'm Kevlon.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. This is KQ, the truth for you.
With President.
Good evening. Welcome to KQ. I am Ken.
I'm Kevlon. Hello, everybody. Breaking news, hot off the presses. Of course, everybody knows by now, so this ain't no news, really. Biden is out.
Yeah, my boy done dropped out, man. They fought a long, hard fight there, man. He did real good, in my opinion. Probably, definitely in my lifetime, as far as I have been tracking, which has probably been about Jimmy Carter. Joe Biden's probably the best president we've ever had in my lifetime. I don't know how history's gonna treat them all together, but I probably put him in the top 5. That's for sure.
Well, I think history is going to treat him very well for a number of reasons. Not only the consequential policies that he ushered in, but he reestablished our foreign relations with our allies, put things in perspective from a global perspective. And he also handed China a big plate of mush once he decided to shore up our manufacturing sector, particularly in the chips arena, semiconductors and things. So I think that that, along with his just general approach, honesty, decency, lack of scandal, all of the things that you can say that Donald Trump didn't have, Joe Biden had. He had competence, he had knowledge, he knew how to pass legislation and get legislation passed with very slim majorities. See, all of these things take skill, and he did so, gracefully, without himself being the main factor. So, I mean, he's going to be looked upon favorably, in my humble opinion.
2 things that I appreciated about him. Number one, of course, all of the policies that he got done, stuff that I did that was just like way under my radar. I never had any idea that they had the ability to get rid of people's student loans and make people pay $35 a month for insulin and stuff like that. So it was just so far out of the realm. And then when he actually passed all this legislation, with as crazy as the House has been since Obama took office, I'm just like, I was flabbergasted by that. And the other thing, boy, I certainly don't miss the chaos of Donald Trump. It was every day was just morning you get a chaos story, afternoon another chaos story, then by the evening another chaos story, and don't let it be Friday, baby. Ain't no telling who's gonna get fired.
Before a holiday?
It was just always something. And I mean, there ain't too much you can say about Joe policy-wise that he didn't accomplish, and you can't say nothing about the normalcy that we've come to enjoy here lately.
Yes,
oh,
absolutely.
Yeah,
and being a Biden supporter, or particularly a Democratic Party supporter, it's nice because you only have a couple of things to knock down. Biden is not inventing and putting new things on the table each day for you to defend as a supporter of his. We just know how to say, well, everybody gets old. I mean, that's pretty much all we had to do, because he wasn't creating scandals and chaos that you just mentioned, back to back, left and right. So it was his decision all along whether or not he was going to run. Of course, there's always going to be people in his ear telling him one way or another, leave the race or stay in, Joe. He picked the one that worked for him, and if it works for him, they don't have no choice but to work for me. My thing is, next up, because I'm not a Biden sycophant. It's not Biden or bust for me. It is more so, let's not go with someone who is incompetent, who is a complete fraud, and who can't tell the truth no matter how much he speaks. So I think we'll be in pretty good shape. If Kamala gets on the ticket, or if anybody else gets on the ticket, I think we'll be just fine. The bottom line is, whoever ends up being on the Democratic ticket, they can run circles around Donald Trump from a competency and character perspective easily.
Yeah, should. There's a whole lot of ammunition out there, boy, in the tank. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Like Biden said, Trump got the morals of an alley cat.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
ever ran
sir.
into an alley cat before?
I hear him in the middle of the night.
They
Hey.
get wily, man. They get wily.
Yeah, this is the mean streets of old Montgomery, Alabama, baby. You know how we do. How we do. All right, so I did have a video. It's kind of short, sweet. Wall Street Journal laid it out pretty good. I don't know if we're gonna make it through the whole thing, but they're just talking about what it do with Joe Biden or with Kamala and how she would fare against Trump in the election. So we'll just put that on for a minute, and I'll jump in a minute and let y'all know what it do.
And Biden expected to drop out of the 2024 election. Some are rallying behind Vice President Kamala Harris.
No one knows better how to prosecute the case against Donald Trump than Kamala Harris.
She tried, remember, in 2020 in the Democratic primary, and we'll see if she's able to come out strong and then maintain that success this time around.
It does put us in a position to have a significantly more competitive election had Joe Biden stayed in the race.
Here's how Harris could stack up in a race against former President Donald Trump.
Donald Trump simply does not have the character to be president of the United States.
Experts say Harris could have a tough campaign trail ahead, but she does have some key advantages.
How do you win the presidency if you don't win the majority of white voters? You have to check off all of the other boxes.
One advantage Harris has is her potential to win over more women, people of color, and young voters.
We're going to be able to effectively make the case about women's health care, their right in terms of choosing how they want to live their lives.
That is going to be the biggest thing this year. It hasn't been up to this point. The Republicans, of course, are trying to make it about the border, but Kamala has the information to basically thwart that effort when she discloses the fact that Trump was the one who killed the border bill that the Republicans made, that they put together and said, this is what we want at the border, their whole wish list. Democrats bent and gave them everything that they wanted. And then Trump said, hey, gun it down. Don't vote on that thing because then what am I going to run on? So that was his whole running tactic. So he's going to try to throw that on Kamala. But at the same time, boy, like I said, the ammunition she's going to have.
Wow,
yeah.
It's like a machine gun. Well, I don't want to talk about guns right now. It's like a spray gun.
Something like that.
Continuous flow of water. We'll do it like that. But the thing is, her biggest obstacle, like they mentioned, is going to be garnering a good enough portion of white voters. We are still not in a post-racial America entirely. We still have a ways to go in that regard, and that must be something that people look at. And I think that she can do better with women than she will suffer among white people, if that makes sense, because of Rovember. So I think we'll be okay. I think she'll be fine. Especially juxtapose the two in terms of character, record, intelligence, and competence. I think she can edge them out a bit. I don't know how many people have seen her in her best moments when they had the confirmation hearings where some of those poor nominees were up in front of her, and she kind of smacked them around a little bit. So I have no question in my mind that her not having to take a back seat to anybody at this point, being the head of the ticket, she's going to be asserting herself in ways that will kind of reintroduce her to the American populace. And it's going to be quite refreshing and quite surprising for a lot of people. A lot of people are underestimating her. Please continue that.
Yeah, baby. She was an AKA, man, or is an AKA. I don't think you can give it up. But yeah, that's an AKA, man. Y'all playing, talking about she don't know her heritage and stuff, man. Y'all better stop that.
I'm telling you, yeah.
But hey, we ain't gonna bore y'all today, man. We just wanted to come in, jump in, give you everything. Now, there was one other thing that I did want to hear from Kevin. So we skipped the assassination attempt and we did not even report on it. The main reason I decided to go that route was because there was just so much reporting going on, so much information, disinformation, all kinds of information. I just wanted to filter it all out, see what the real deal was, and still waiting on a good old doctor report to tell me exactly what the medical condition was and stuff like that, though we'll probably never get to see it. So, needless to say, I didn't have anything new to add. It was too much information going on. Hell, I was sitting there watching it just like everybody else. So, yeah, so I skipped that one.
Yeah, I agree with that. One thing that we do here is we like to pinpoint things that aren't sitting on top of the surface that are significant, so that people can zero in on some things that are passing by them that they should consider when looking at the political landscape. Really nothing much that we could add to that situation. The only thing that I saw, there was a lot of, you mentioned conspiracy theories going around, and it was another opportunity for the people who don't like diversity and equity or inclusion to pile on to the woman who's at the head of the Secret Service. They just use that as an opportunity to say, see, DEI doesn't work. It's the same tactic that they use about black people flying airplanes, not the Tuskegee experiment.
Not
this
that
is recent.
A little more recent.
Yeah, a little more recent. Candace Owens even said if she get on the plane and it's a black pilot, she ain't feeling comfortable no more. Charlie Kirk, he's a Republican mouthpiece. He said the same thing. So all of these people were justifying their fear of a black pilot. And wasn't that a movie? But they were justifying their fear of somebody black being in control of their lives because they are professional and have earned their wings. They said they don't trust no black person doing that because it just in case it's a DEI hire.
Yeah.
Well, they doing it to that woman now that was in charge of the Secret Service, that was at the top of the Secret Service. So the director. Only thing I would say is she wasn't the only one who was in the decision-making capacity that day. There were some other people who made a lot of mistakes. I don't know, was those men or women?
I think there was men's.
Most of them, at least.
The way they broke the grinder over there, it was men's.
Yeah, but they ain't criticized them. They just skip right up to her. I understand the buck stops at the top and all of that. But no, there has been no evidence that her directives caused the problem. But there is some evidence that the directives that were on the field at the time caused the problem. Somebody was in charge there, and it probably was a dude. So quit tripping.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'll say about that. Glad Trump made it. Nobody should be assassinated because of anything that has to do with them politically. And I'm not sure that this attack was a political attack based on, I don't like your ideology, so I'm going to kill you. I don't think that's what this was.
Yeah, this was, I think he was trying to get some extra notoriety for being like John Hinckley or, one of those guys.
Yes, he fits the profile of your typical school shooter, someone who wanted some attention, and he picked out a target. He'd been bullied for years and years and years through school, and, and then the other part about it, he loves guns, and he could get his hands on one that he could sit 150 yards away and almost get his target, so what can you say?
Yeah. Dangerous world we live in, people. It's a dangerous world.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. And another thing, man, don't bring that crazy chaos back to the White House, man. We don't need that stuff no more, man.
No.
I'm tired of the debacle. Aren't y'all tired of the headaches caused every day? I mean, yeah.
Politics is not supposed to be raw entertainment. This is not the World Wrestling Federation. I mean, we don't need Hulk Hogan type antics going on in our White House.
We do not need Attorney General Hulk Hogan. Yeah, right. Brother. When I get down there, brother,
I'm gonna tear this shirt and I'm gonna yell and scream.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're gonna keep it short, sweet. We love y'all. Give us some love back. Y'all know how I do.
I'll just say this and I'm gonna let you go. Be objective. Kamala Harris does not have a bar to go over that's any higher than any other person running for president has. Do not tell me about how she laughs. I don't want to hear about that. She get to laugh how she wants. You laugh like you want. How come she can't laugh? Anyway, they did the same thing to Hillary. You remember that? Tucker, you remember Tucker Carlson? You told me about this, Ken. What? Tucker Carlson was on Hillary's case about how she laughed, and he laughed like a hyena getting tickled.
Yes, sir. It's been real, people. Like, subscribe, share, do what it do. You know we love you.
We'll be back soon.
Oh, yeah.
And all I wanna do is just listen to you. Can you politics 72? Can you dig it? 1, 2, KQ. A beautiful girl. Can you dig it? And all I wanna do, 1, 2, you wish just listen to you. Can you politics 72? Can you dig it? KQ. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Can you dig it?
1, 2, KQ. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Can you dig it? Yeah, can you dig it?